It's now time for On the Line with Cheryl Wilkerson. The conversation will range from local dialogue to international. This show is meant to enlighten, inform, and to inspire. On the Line with Cheryl Wilkerson begins now.
Hello and welcome to On the Line. I'm your host, Cheryl Wilkerson. Thank you so much for joining us today. In the studio with me, I have the mayor of Portsmouth, Mr. Shannon Glover, has joined us today to talk about all things Portsmouth, I should say. So how are you, and welcome to On the Line.
Sure, I'm doing well, and thank you and Hot 91 for having me today.
All right, well, we have to speak about earlier this week when everybody in Portsmouth was loving everybody. Everybody was happy. News coverage from all over the world. Of course, I'm talking about when Missy Elliott came to town. What do you want to tell us about that day?
Well, that day started off for me about 5 a.m. when I had a interview with Wavy TV 10 at 6:30 a.m. at the site where the street naming was unveiled on Airline and Missy Elliott Boulevard. And so it was just a whirlwind situation for me. I went from one place to the other in anticipation of seeing Missy Elliott for the first time. Everyone that I had encountered that morning were so excited about her being there. This was truly a huge deal for the city of Portsmouth, and we were just Portsmouth proud to recognize our favored daughter, Missy Elliott.
That was obvious to see. I'm telling you, the talent that has come out of Portsmouth. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But yesterday or the other day, it was Missy. And what is she like? How would you describe her?
Wow. First of all, I didn't have an idea of what Missy Elliott was like. I listened to some of her music, of course. I Can't Stand the Rain and some other tracks. But what really impressed me about Missy Elliott in person was her level of humility and how humble and grateful she was. She was actually embarrassed. In fact, when we set her in position to pull down the street sign.
Yes.
One of the things she said to me was, Mayor, I was afraid to do that.
Because?
Just because she didn't know how everything would come down. And I assured her everything was okay and that we had every imaginable protection there for her. But she was just very humble, very soft-spoken, very much appreciative of the fact that her city decided to recognize her. And I'll just say this, too. I had the opportunity to speak with her mother.
Yeah, tell me about her mom.
Pat, prior to the event. And we spoke on the phone.
I understand, used to work at VEPCO when VEPCO was VEPCO, right?
She did, she did. And her manager was a good friend of mine, Mr. Junius Williams.
Oh, yes.
Who is the husband of
Miss Costello.
Miss Costello Williams, who serves on our school board. Just wonderful public servants. In any event, so when I talked to Miss Pat, she told me a little bit about her background and how she was certainly an abused woman, and she went through a lot of challenges. But the most important takeaway that I had was she shared with me when Missy was a little girl, she came to her mom and told her, Mom, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to do all this kind of stuff. And as parents do, of course, we believe our children when they say those things to us. But in the back of our mind, we're like, we just want you to be successful, baby. But as life would have it, Missy overcame all the obstacles, and
she put that in the universe.
She did. She did. And
like
so
5-time Grammy winner. I think 5 times, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody was just so excited, and it was just good to see all the high schools there and the colleges were there. Of course, their Legion was there. I understand that they had the stadium rocking when they played the Missy Mix when the festivities were over. It was just smiles galore.
It was a happy day for Portsmouth, and of course, as you know, an alumni of this great institution, Norfolk State University, Dr. J was there at the event.
Was she?
Yes,
That's Dr. J was right there.
Dr. J was there, as was the president of Hampton University, and so it was just nice to see everybody come together in this celebratory spirit and having, you know, the Spartan Legion. I mean, when they come out, that's a big deal.
And coming off of the homecoming weekend where it was a different vibe on campus for this homecoming, I think this year more people were over the COVID fears. So more people came out and more people were appreciative to see each other because of the COVID and because of the people we've lost. And people were just happy. It was a grand time on campus. And then to follow it up with that in Portsmouth and to have the Legion there, it was wonderful.
It really was. And I heard reports this morning that at the event at Manor High School, which is the high school Missy attended, they had reached capacity and they actually had to turn folks away because the stadium, I understand, only seats about 3,500 people.
I saw a long line.
It was totally packed, people everywhere. It was, I like to call it a big family reunion.
It was. Now tell us more about the reception last night, because we saw the pictures of the unveiling of the street and we saw pictures of being at Manor High School, but we didn't hear too much about the reception.
So the reception was held at the Renaissance Hotel in Portsmouth. It was a ticketed event. I understand the tables went for about $2,500 a piece. And it was a varied crowd in the sense that there were sponsors, corporate sponsors like Centera, Dominion Energy, other sponsors that were there. The Black brand was there with Blair Durham, my good friend.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of representation at the ticketed event. It was more intimate in that Missy was recognized by a special appearance of the Clark sisters.
And you know what? This is no joke. I was walking around my house the day before and I was feeling a little down. And what did I start trying to sing? Because I can't sing. What did I start trying to sing? Is My Living in Vain? I promise you I was trying to sing this song.
Well, you should have been there. I wish you would have called me because I would have had you come. I mean, I would have set aside a seat specifically for Cheryl Wilkerson. Next time, let me know when you get that revelation. But in any event,
did she cry when they sang?
Yes, she did. That was the first. That was the first song they did when they came on stage, and they had all of them were there. And the deal was that I didn't know how instrumental Missy was in helping their career, in helping them to grow. Apparently, she helped them write songs, but just Missy Elliott being connected to them, and they made the statement publicly. Their success would not have occurred without Missy Elliott support. And
that
so
gives me goosebumps. I remember when she was on some award show or something, and she shouted out Peggy Britt. She said it. She said, Peggy Britt is the one that told me about harmonies, and just all the love that she gives the 757.
It was so evident yesterday. I mean, even on the field, when she talked about when I presented her with the key to the city of Portsmouth, she talked about her experiences as a high school student. And it was funny because she made this statement about she at one point received a majority of F's on her report card, and she changed them to B's, right? And her mom, being the mom she was, the involved mom she was, kind of figured that out. And so she had to go back and work, and she ended up earning A's. And so just a total understanding of what she went through as a young person, as an artist, a producer, a songwriter. Her journey wasn't an easy one.
Correct.
But we all know that a lot of times the goals we set for ourselves, they have obstacles in the way. They have challenges. Perseverance is needed. Hope is needed, right? Prayer and belief in oneself. And that's really what I took away from Missy Elliott yesterday. Just a humble, good spirit. And she didn't really talk about herself. She wanted to talk about how other people poured into her to help her become what she became.
Pusha T, Trey Songz, all of them were out there. Was Timbaland out there?
I think so, yes. Yes, he was. I actually took a picture with him.
That is so nice when people come out to celebrate you. People that have their own things going on. They didn't have to stop what they were producing or creating or being great at doing, but they came out to honor that woman. That's wonderful.
They really did, and that's what I want to take away. You know, Portsmouth, for everything that it is, we get a lot of different things coming our way, but rarely do we celebrate. And to your point, we should celebrate more those individuals who have done good not only in our city, but throughout our state, nation, and the world. And that is a reflection on our city. It is a reflection on our values. And that's something that I really want us to continue to push forward and encourage our young children, our seniors, our middle-aged folks. We need to celebrate Portsmouth.
You've got Wanda Sykes. You had Ruth Brown came out of Portsmouth. That lady could say, you know, it's so many examples of love, and sometimes you just need that love, right? We do,
and there's a saying about Portsmouth that's really kind of important. We always say that Portsmouth is for people, all people, and I can't stress that enough. We need to continue to drive that message again and again and again, because there are good things that come out of Portsmouth, and which it makes us very Portsmouth proud.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the programs that you have going on in Portsmouth that people may not just know about, but there are programs out there that can help people.
So there are a number of programs that I think that come to heart real quick, and I'm going to cover a couple areas: business and healthcare. So first, I'll deal with the healthcare. We actually have a new community health center that will be opening up in either at end of November, early December.
Really?
Portsmouth Community Health Center. It is a newly built facility, $14 million investment. It will open up on High Street, and it is taking the place of the Portsmouth Community Health Center that was on the south side. State-of-the-art facility. 75 positions will be there with nurse practitioners, physicians, and I think it will even have a dental clinic. That effort is led by one of our wonderful leaders, Ms. Barbara Willis. That is who the center is named after. So it's the Barbara Willis Healthcare Center.
Can you tell me more about Barbara Willis?
So what I know of Barbara, I don't think she was Portsmouth born and reared, but she came to Portsmouth several years ago. She is well known in the healthcare industry, and she took over as executive director of the Portsmouth Community Health Center.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why that's important, as you know, Portsmouth suffers from a number of areas that we need to work on. Diabetes. We have one of the highest rates of diabetes in the city of Portsmouth. In addition to that, infant mortality, one of the highest rates of infant mortality. Cervical cancer, one of the highest rates of cervical cancer in the region and certainly in the state. So we have some health concerns within our community, and we need more access to quality health care. So that's going to be a good thing. The other thing is that I'm excited about is our Portsmouth at Work program. This is really a gem of a program in that we go out to the community and let citizens know if you are seeking job opportunities, or if you need to upskill yourself and you need additional training to obtain certifications like in computers or what have you. Our Portsmouth at Works program will bring you in as a citizen of Portsmouth. All of those services are free of charge, and you could obtain those certifications, and they will help you find gainful employment with living wage jobs.
What's the name of the program again?
It's Portsmouth at Work program. And so if you're interested, if you're in the city of Portsmouth, you've come to a position or where you feel like you need more training and more opportunity, call the Portsmouth at Work program at 757-393. I believe it's 8044, but I'll check that number. But it's our Economic Development Department in the city of Portsmouth, which drives that program.
What's the success of the program?
Well, we've had great success. We just got a report last week at our work session that we have over 300 plus citizens in the city of Portsmouth have received additional training and have gotten new jobs based on the training in that program. And as you know, coming out of the pandemic, what is really needed in the community are trained folks to go into these job areas so that we can provide hope to them and an opportunity to improve their quality of life.
That's pretty good, and I can't believe it's free. So who's paying for it?
So it was a program that was born out of the ARPA funds that were available. We saw a need to put that program in place. But more importantly, we believe it's an investment in our citizens. So the council, as we go forward, will look at how we fund that. But make no mistake about it, the City of Portsmouth, the leadership of the Portsmouth City Council is committed to helping our citizens to get the training and support that they need to live a good life.
Very good. Any other programs you want to brag about? If you're just joining us, I'm talking to Mayor Shannon Glover. He is the mayor of Portsmouth, Virginia. Any other programs you want to tell us about?
Well, there is another program that I'm really proud of, and that's our minority business program and our support of minority businesses within the city of Portsmouth. So, coming out of our economic development department, again, we have partnered with organizations within the city, co-working spaces, and through those partnerships, we have been able to create co-working spaces with the Bloom Co-working organization in the city of Portsmouth. And what they do is they provide office space for startups and small businesses who want a place to have their address but don't want to work out of their home, and they want an professional environment to bring folks that they want to talk to. In that program, they partnered with the city and received a Go Virginia grant. And as a result of that Go Virginia grant, over 90% of the small businesses that are in that space now are minority and women-owned businesses.
Wonderful.
So we're creating real opportunities. We're meeting the challenges in our community to let particularly women and minority-owned businesses know that we're here to support you, that we understand that their challenges, and working together, hopefully we'll overcome those challenges and create more women and small businesses in the community.
You need to help the state with that, because from what I understand, statewide, the numbers are not that great, something like less than 1% of whatever about, using women-owned or minority-owned businesses across the state. We're not doing too good in that department.
Well, you're right, and so now, which brings me to a very good point. Now is the time in which the Portsmouth City Council is looking at our legislative agenda, and all localities do that. So we just had our legislative agenda meeting, which we look at certain things that we want to happen in the city of Portsmouth, and we take it to our state representatives.
Okay.
And so the next step is we're going to finalize what that agenda is. And I want to see on that agenda is how are we going to move forward in providing resources to our minority-owned and small businesses to the degree that we're able to help them upskill, not only in the city of Portsmouth, but as you said, on statewide contracts. We're also working with some folks to put together the minority business program, where we will continue to assist small businesses in receiving SWAM certification and other certifications that will make them eligible to participate in local contracts and statewide contracts and even some national contracts. These are the things we need to continue to do proactively at the local level, but also challenge the leaders at the state level to help in that effort.
You've used the term SWAM several times. Some women out there listening might say, what is that? You want to explain that?
So SWAM is a small women and minority certification. And my firm, Commonwealth Employee Benefit Solutions, my private business, is SWAM certified. And what you have to do to get or obtain that SWAM certification, it's an application process. You have to complete the application. In addition to that, you have to provide some financial information about your business and how long you've been in business. Once you do that and submit it to the state organization, they will review that information and then follow up with you. Once your designation is obtained, you will get a certificate stating that you are SWAM certified. I proudly display that certificate on the wall of my office. And also, you will get listed at the state level on their list of SWAM certified companies.
Which is important. Like places like Norfolk State University, we have to follow certain rules as to whom we hire.
Correct. And a lot of times I see with that certification, a lot of our businesses don't really know what the process is. And so we're really excited about continued opportunities to train those businesses so that they can at least, if they desire, to meet that bar. And it does put them in line to be more competitive with the right credentials.
That's right.
Because you never want to get in a situation, particularly when you're competing for business and you don't have the minimum qualifications that may be required for that process.
That's right. Now, what else do we want to talk about in Portsmouth? Do you have any big construction going on now in Portsmouth? What's going on in the education department? What are you looking for or anticipating for 2023 for Portsmouth?
So a couple of things that come to mind. First of all, as most of you are aware, we created an entertainment district where our new casino will be going. And that casino, Rivers Casino Portsmouth, over 267,000 square feet of gaming, restaurant, and other space. We're going to even have a Top Golf simulator inside the building. That is due to open January 2023.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that Hot 91 is out there and you are representing, because it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be open, and we anticipate the whole region coming to the city of Portsmouth to see the first freestanding casino in the state of Virginia opening in January right in the city of Portsmouth.
I'm not going to cut across you, but, in the last couple of weeks, what's going on with the city, Norfolk, with all the closings of the restaurants and the brouhaha over the conditional use permits and everything, I see more and more people posting online about, don't worry about Norfolk, take that business to Portsmouth, because, Norfolk is trying to right the ship of crime. They're trying to, as all localities are trying to do right now. So they're kind of going through a lot of businesses, and we report it or we talk about it or whatever, but those are people's livelihoods. I mean, the owners, the employees, employees that have been there for years, it affects them.
It does.
It does affect them. And of course, crime affects you too when you can't go somewhere and be safe and your child goes to have a drink or something and never comes home. So you can see both sides to it. I hope they come to a happy medium with that. But yeah, people are saying, oh, just go to Portsmouth.
Well, I think the answer is just what you said. There has to be a balance, and safety is job one, right? Keeping our citizens safe and secure is job one. And to your point, it should never be risky to go out and get a pizza or have a drink or eat a meal. What we have to do as communities, and I respect whatever localities feel they need to do, but in our community, we pay attention to those things as well. And as you said, there are zoning requirements. There are requirements that business owners have to comply with. And if you don't meet those requirements and on a continuous basis, then the city has the right to make a decision, particularly when safety is in question. And so I appreciate the fact that you have to make those decisions. No one ever wants to make a decision to close down operating business. That's a tough call in any situation because of the reasons you indicated. And so I just know that we don't take it lightly, as I don't think anyone else would, but we have to balance all of the needs of the community. And at the end of the day, as leaders, our job is safety.
And do you see a quote unquote, I know you used the term earlier, entertainment district in Portsmouth, like High Street or something like? Do you see that? Do you envision that? Is that in the works? Or
so what we're creating, we actually created that entertainment district where the casino is going. Okay. So as a result of that, what I envision, it's not my vision wholly, but just from where I sit, I envision other stores, other businesses coming up and cropping up around that to support that entertainment vision, right? Some retail perhaps, some different other food options. In addition to that, some other types of entertainment that may be willing to come in there, maybe a comedy club or something that attracts people to improve the quality of life. Maybe something more in the line of what Virginia Beach did at their town center with bringing a place in where the symphony can perform. I don't know what that ultimately looks like, but I like the opportunities that are present.
Well, I need you to do something about the tolls because people don't like going through the tunnels with the tolls, Mayor.
Well, you're just hitting on every point. And here's the good news. So I don't know if you had heard, but recently there was a new toll relief program announced.
Correct, yes.
And so I can give some details about that new toll relief program. And that was a regional effort along with the state and Elizabeth River Crossings. VDOT, of course, was at the table on that. What was discussed when we met was we need to change the limit on the income. So as you recall, the limit was $30,000
yes.
to qualify for the toll relief program. Number one, we have changed that limit from $30,000 to $50,000.
Right.
The other thing about that program is you had to fill out the application to be able to receive that discounted toll relief. And if you didn't fill it out within a desired time, then you had to wait till the next year.
Yes.
Well,
yeah, I read that.
Under the new rules, you can fill out that application on a continuous basis. So you're not going to miss an opportunity. In addition to that, toll relief was basically for people that lived in Portsmouth and Norfolk. Now, under the new rules, it's going to be open to everyone in the 7 cities, no matter where you live. If you meet the criteria, you can get the toll relief. And one of the most exciting things about it is before you used to have to wait for the toll relief to show up on your bill. Now it's going to be deducted 24 hours after you travel through the tunnel. So you'll see it reflected. And in most cases, I think some of the projected numbers, it'll save most of those individuals about 50% overall on their toll bill.
That's good because some of my friends have been weirding out about that. We have less than 4 minutes to talk in that time. I need you to urge people to vote.
Wow, you know, I can't say enough about voting. That's how we got here, Cheryl. Voting in our community is job number one outside of safety. And when I think about voting, not only is your civic duty, but it's what you owe to the legacy. Many of us who have our positions and opportunities in our community today, we gain them through the ballot. And access is always going to be hard-earned, and we can't forget those gains. So with that being said, I encourage every citizen in the city of Portsmouth, particularly, to get out and exercise your right to vote, because I always share with citizens, you get the leadership that you vote for. And if you want good leaders, you've got to go out there to cast your ballot. The last thing I want to say about this, my friends in the city of Portsmouth that belong to the Portsmouth alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Once again, the Portsmouth chapter, alumni chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority have a pin that they wear. And when they did their voter registration, I talked to several of them. They had this pin that said, "Ask me about 36,000. So I asked them, 36,000 was the number of registered voters in the city of Portsmouth that did not vote in the last election. Now think about that for a minute. There's 66,000 registered voters in the city of Portsmouth. 36,000 registered voters did not cast their ballot.
Portsmouth Mayor Shannon Glover, thank you for stopping by. That's unbelievable. Thank you for stopping by today. All politics is local. All politics is local. I need you all to understand that. I need you to go out 3 weeks. We got about 3 weeks.
Exactly, from today.
November 8th is the day that you can go out. Of course, you can go out now and vote. We have early voting, thank goodness, in the state. But people are trying to wipe away some things. I did a report this morning. The president had warned that the Republican plan is to cut Medicaid and Social Security. So in other words, you have to wait longer to get those services, or they penalize you if you retire early, things like that. So we think, we think it doesn't matter on the local level and we just go to the top, but it sprouts from the bottom and it goes up. And the bottom is the most important. So please go out and vote. Thank you for joining us.
Sure,
how can people get in contact with you? Well,
people can call me at the mayor's office, 757-393-8639. That is the office of the clerk, and she will direct you to my schedule. And I appreciate you all listening to me today. And don't forget, cast your vote. It does matter.
Cast your vote. I'm Cheryl Wilkerson. Had a wonderful time today. Thank you again, Mayor.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You all have a safe and happy Sunday. We will be talking to you again next Sunday, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I waited a long time to say that. My mom used to say that all the time. I waited a long time to say that. So I hope that you all know that I love you. And yes, take somebody to the polls. Don't forget, if that person is older and handicapped or whatever, they will come to the car. So no excuses. Get out to vote. I'm Cheryl Wilkerson. You all take care. Behold.